Hey, I'm Trevor Werner reporting for KGFW. This is
John Castillo
and Brian Majeski.
Could you tell us a little bit about your jobs?
I'm with the customer service department here at Cabela's, and I am also a new store trainer. So I get the opportunity to travel with the company and help open new stores and train new employees.
How about you, John?
Well, I work at the corporate office, and my job is to go around and talk about Cabela's. We are the world's foremost outfitter, and we sell hunting, fishing, camping, and outdoor gear.
What's your favorite part about your job?
I think my favorite part is getting to talk about hunting and fishing with all the people that come into our stores. On average, we get about 4 million visitors in each store, and everyone has a story to tell about their outdoor experiences.
How about you, Brian?
Oh, mine is dealing with the customers, working with the customers. One thing about working here at Cabela's, we get people from all over the world coming into our store. South Africa, Iceland. So we get to visit with a lot of different people, and it's really interesting to visit with people from different countries as they come into this store.
Where are we going to begin today?
We can begin right here at our Autumn's Legend display. When you guys drove in today, if you notice, our bronze statue out in front of the store is exact replica of this display right behind us. And the big difference is that replica out front is about 23 and a half foot tall and weighed about 8 tons when they brought it in. So, but we can talk a little bit about this display. Interesting with this display is these animals, except the one in the back, are found sheds. The white-tailed deer every winter, they drop their antlers, and then in the spring they grow new ones. So a lot of people around the country during the winter go out into the woods and try to find the antlers that have dropped off the deer, and then we have put them on different capes and put them in this display here.
I have some friends with. Is that all right if they ask you some questions?
Absolutely.
You bet.
My name is Nicholas Kokesh, and I am reporting for KGFW-TV. Where are we now, guys?
Right now we are at our first African diorama. What it is a scene of an East African water hole. Of course, Africa being very dry, the animals have to come to the water hole once a day or once every other day to get their water. So this is what our scene is right here. Along with a lot of the antelope and different animals that we have in this display, we also have a lot of the predators, which also show up at the water hole, and of course that's where they get their meal. Interesting scene with this African diorama is the back part of it. Our artist, the artist that works for our company, Paul Mancello, he hand paints all the designs and all the scenes on this African diorama. Interesting point with Mr. Mancello is he has never been to Africa. He does it all on his laptop with a picture that somebody has taken over in Africa, and then he paints it on the wall for us.
Do you have any favorite animals on display here?
My favorite, probably, just because it's probably one of the uglier animals in Africa, is the warthog that we have over there. And the scene we have of our warthog is he's kind of rolling in the mud, and they do that to keep cool and also to get insects and parasites off of their skin.
When you were growing up, who were the people that took you hunting and your role models?
I was very fortunate. My father and my grandfather took me hunting and fishing a lot, so I got to be out in the woods quite a bit, and I was fortunate. I was also in Boy Scouts, so that we got to do a lot of camping and fishing with that organization also.
How about you, John?
Well, my dad always took me hunting and fishing. In fact, some of my earliest memories are of going on family camping trips and also going fishing with my family. So I started very young, and I've been doing it ever since.
What's one of your favorite parts about your career?
I think my favorite part is I get to hunt and fish all over the country. We're building new stores every year, and this past year I got a chance to fish in West Virginia, in Texas, I fly fished out in Utah, and then I moved here to Minnesota, and I've been ice fishing here in Minnesota. So I've really enjoyed traveling for Cabela's and getting to fish and hunt all over the country.
And you?
Mine is also the same. Being that I'm on the training team, it's been fortunate. We've gotten to travel, go to Texas especially. The people in Texas were a lot of fun, and they were people that wanted to take you out and show you the area, take you fishing, and that. So it was very enjoyable, and that's a great part of this job.
This is a really neat display.
Hi, my name is Nick Schrader, and where are we now, guys?
Right now we are at our aquariums, which is located in our fishing department here at the store. Our first aquarium that we're looking at here is about 14,000 gallons, and the glass on it is just over 2 inches thick, and we call this our Minnesota or our pond scene. It's would be a pond or a lake you would find here in the southern part of Minnesota. So a lot of the fish we have are ones that we catch in this area.
Do all the fish get along in there?
The real little ones, when we bring them in, they don't get along real well with the big ones. So we do have some turnover at times, but we try to adjust the fish to the size of the aquarium, so we don't throw the little ones in with the really big fish. A lot of people ask us where we get our fish. We have a special permit from the DNR where if one of our employees is going out fishing, they can take that permit along with a large cooler we have, and they catch a lot of these fish, bring them back. We quarantine the fish for a couple weeks, make sure they're healthy, and then they end up in this aquarium here.
What's the biggest fish you have ever caught?
I caught a large northern up in Canada. It was about 25 pounds, so that was my largest.
And how about you?
My largest fish was an 8-pound bass that I caught down in Texas.
The biggest fish I've ever caught was northern. What kind of people do you all have coming into your store?
We have everybody. We have young people and old people and famous people and everyday people just like you and me. The great thing about the outdoors, about hunting and camping and fishing, is that everybody that enjoys it likes to come to Cabela's. So we call ourselves the Great Equalizer because we bring everyone together to enjoy the outdoors.
Is that okay if we take a look at the aquarium?
Absolutely. We are on the other side of that first aquarium that we looked at. This one is also 14,000 gallons, and in this aquarium here we have a lot of different species of fish. Again, we have our largemouth bass, we have our long-nosed gars. The long-nosed gars we find in the Mississippi River and the St. Croix. And as you can see swimming by here, these guys were fed yesterday, so those are just a few that are hanging around. You come back in a day or so, the minnows won't be around. The bass will come around and kind of finish those off.
What are some of these fish?
In this tank we have some bass as well, but we also have a lot of walleye and some pretty good-sized northerns.
They must all get along all right too.
They do. Of course, we keep them well fed, so that makes sure they get along well. But some of these fish have been in here 8 years or more. They've been around since we opened the store, and they're doing very well.
What's that one weird looking fish in the tank?
That is the camera for one of the underwater cameras that we sell here in the store. If we walk over to the marine area, they'll have that camera set up so you can see the inside of the aquarium here, and we use that when a customer asks what it looks like. Instead of just sending them home with it, we can show them that this is what they will see when they buy the product, take it out to the lake and use it. The other thing, if you notice today, kind of our fish are all swimming in this area. Today is feeding day for them. We feed our fish every other day and usually in the afternoon. So if you're in the store and you kind of see them all grouping around, they're letting us know that today's feeding day and they're getting ready.
When somebody visits the store, how long do they stay?
We estimate that most of our customers will spend about 4 hours in the store. Of course, we have some that spend a lot longer and some that spend a little shorter, but it averages out to be about 4 hours per customer.
It looks like we're at a mountain.
Yes, we are. This is our mountain. What we have here is the 4 regions or areas of North America. The scene we have right here is our desert southwest scene. We have our pronghorn antelope. Pronghorn antelope are the second fastest animals in the world. Of course, the cheetah is the fastest. We have a variety of animals on our display here. We have mule deer. There are mountain sheep, coyotes, of course. And up on the side of the mountain, and it's what's really interesting, as people come in, we tell them, just look at the mountain. We have different animals hidden all over the place on this mountain. As you can see, we have our mountain lions, wild turkeys. So we have a variety of animals. What we have right here is what is called a peccary, or a javelina, excuse me. They go by both names. They are a wild desert pig. And if you notice, our one right here is having a confrontation with a rattlesnake. We got it kind of hidden here in the grass.
When I first came here, I've never seen the rattlesnake.
They're camouflaged, and we show them in this area because, of course, you hear people walking through the desert or walking through the woods. Then they end up stepping on a rattlesnake or a snake, and that is because they do blend in with their surroundings.
What kind of creatures do we have back here?
What we have is we have our Alaskan brown bear. We also have a pair of bull moose that are fighting. And we're kind of close to the mountain here, but if we step back, about halfway up, we have a wolverine that is hidden on the halfway up the mountain.
Sneaky little critter.
Oh yes, they are.
Let's keep moving. What are we looking at now, Brian?
What we're looking at is a pair of grizzly bears that have taken down caribou. One way you can tell the difference between a grizzly bear and our black bears, one way is their foreheads are a lot larger. The other way is behind their head they have a hump where at their shoulder areas. The only problem though, if you get that close to a grizzly bear, you can tell that you're way too close.
It's not often that you get this close.
No.
What's that little critter?
That is an ermine. Ermines are one of those animals that during the winter their fur turns white for camouflage, and come springtime and during the summer their fur will change back to brown for the camouflage.
What kind of scene do we have up here?
This is timber wolves that are also chasing caribou. One thing about our taxidermists and when they set up like our mountain or our African scene, at least one part of the animal has to be touching the display. As you can see with this timber wolf here, it's got its back foot touching the mountain, and that is how they secure it to that area. We'll see over at our African diorama, we have a leopard over there that's in a tree, and it's the same deal. It's got at least one part of its body touching the mountain or the scene that it's in.
What part is this?
This is our Arctic scene. What we have here are a pair of polar bears, and along with the polar bears we have 2 Arctic fox. And this scene is very true. In the wild, you will find Arctic fox following polar bears around. The Arctic fox cleans up after the polar bears. They eat the scraps of the seal or walrus that the polar bears have killed. One thing interesting with polar bears is under their white fur, their skin is black, and that is to absorb the heat from the sun in the Arctic.
I didn't know that.
And another interesting thing they have found with polar bears is that polar bears are all left-handed. So if one's going to take a swipe at you, it's going to do it with its left paw.
I remember that. This looks like a yak over here.
Those are muskox. They are found in the Arctic also. And across their heads are their horns. When the males are fighting, they will, like a lot of sheep, they will run at each other and butt their heads together. So that's why it's kind of like a hard, almost look like a hard armor that they have on top of their heads.
I wouldn't want to run into one of those.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
This looks like a neat part of the mountain.
This is our last scene on the mountain. It is basically the area we find around here with our white-tailed deer, our squirrels, and those kind of animals. Also, we have our black bear that is trying to get the porcupine out of the tree. Also behind the moose here, we also have what they call a cinnamon-colored black bear. It's a brownish tinge, and it is trying to get a hornet's nest out of the tree. We also, as you look up into the mountain, we have a lot of our desert and our mountain sheep. We have the Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep, Dall sheep, stone sheep. So we do have a lot of variety here on this mountain, and it gives our customers an opportunity, especially those that don't live in our area, to see some of the wildlife that we do have in this area.
Looks like we're back at an African display.
Yes, this is our second African diorama, and we call this the Big Five of African animals. We have our lions, we have the elephant, rhinoceros, and leopards in the tree in the back corner here, and then our Cape buffalo. Our first scene here with the lions, you will not see this in nature. Our taxidermists have chosen to put a male lion in this chase scene with the zebra. In truth, the female lions, or the pride, they do all the hunting. Once they make the kill, then the male lion shows up. He's the first one to eat. He eats until he's full, and then the rest of the pride gets to eat after he's done.
How much could a lion eat?
A lion? That's an interesting question. A lot depends on the size of the pride or the group of lions, but a male lion like that would probably be able to eat probably 50 or 60 pounds of meat, and then they won't eat for several days after that. They just kind of lay around and sleep. Our second African scene was also painted by Mr. Mancello. One thing about it, as we see the sky, it took him over 3 weeks just to paint the sky in this display. He's an extremely talented man, and he does all the African scenes in all our new stores as we're building them. Our next animal that we have in our display here is our elephant. The elephant weighed about 7 tons when it was alive, and what it was what they call a rogue elephant. And a rogue elephant is one that goes around and it destroys crops and basically terrorizes villages. So it had to be culled. Everything on the elephant is real except the tusks. The tusks are fake, and that is because there is a ban on ivory in Africa. You cannot take the ivory tusks out of Africa, so those are fake. Interesting story about this elephant. When the store was about ready to open and they were bringing the elephant in, they found out it wouldn't fit through the doors. We have a set of doors over on the south side of the store here, and they went to bring it in, it wouldn't fit. So they ended up calling somebody to come in and redo the doors to get the elephant inside the store here. And to this day, we still call those doors the elephant doors.
What's that creature behind us jumping from the tree?
That is a leopard. And there again, as we talked on the mountain, at least one part of the animal has to be touching the display. So as you can see, as this one's leaping off the mountain to try to catch the baboons, its back foot is still touching the mountain. They're at a water hole, getting some water, and of course they're being ambushed by the leopard. So they see it coming and they're off and running, trying to get away from the leopard. And as you can notice, they have very long and very sharp canine teeth. So they do defend themselves if they do get into a fight with the leopard, but the leopard does have a very good chance of taking one of these animals. Out of this group of animals, which one is the most dangerous? and they'll go the elephant or the lions. The truth is, the most dangerous animal out of this whole group are the Cape buffaloes right behind us. In Africa, the natives do call them Black Death because they will take on a group of lions. They will not back down. If you happen to be hunting one of these animals and it should be wounded, it will sit in the tall grass and wait for the hunter to come along. And they have been known to stomp a hunter to death or part of their group. So they are very, very dangerous animals.
My brother, he has a game called Cabela's hunting, and he was hunting a Cape buffalo, and he almost got stomped to death and was being chased by one.
Yeah, they are very dangerous animals, and if you just look at the size on them and the amount of muscle and they do look very, very dangerous.
Brian, thank you for this tour. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Well, we just welcome everybody to come to the store here, and just to let everybody know, people assume Cabela's that we're just hunting and fishing, but we have a lot of different things for people in the store. Wives, they can come here, and we have women's clothing, we have camping gear, and for the kids, we have a lot of different toys and just a lot of fun stuff. Like you said, your brother owns the Cabela's video game, so we have a lot of variety here at the store.
John, is there anything else you would like to share with us before you?
Well, I'd like to tell everyone that Cabela's is a great place to work, and when you guys get into the job market, you can come work for Cabela's. We have everything from people on the sales floor to photographers to a media crew. We have pilots for the Cabela's plane, people that work with the animals. So there are many number of jobs, and we hope that you'll consider Cabela's when you start working.
Sure sounds like a lot of fun.
You bet.
Thank you, Brian and John.
Hello, this is Emily Wood reporting for KGFW. And this is
Alexis Jensen and
Dan McBurton.
and we're going to interview my dad. And this is Lucy. Hi, and what is your name?
Nick Wood.
And what are you going to show us today?
Some old trucks we'll look at, and a horse. Take a look at a horse.
It's a beautiful day.
Sure is. Couldn't get any better than this.
All right, let's begin.
Hi, I'm Alexis Jensen, and we're gonna ask Emily about her horse Charlie. What kind of food does Charlie eat?
Hay, oats, grass, and pellets. He usually eats out in the field, and when it's rainy, he's in the barn.
Do you ever get to ride Charlie?
Sometimes.
What kind of horse is Charlie?
A quarter horse.
What size of shoes does he wear?
He doesn't wear shoes.
Does he get along with Lucy?
No. What's this first vehicle we're looking at, Dad?
This will be a 48 Ford F1.
What kind of things are you planning on doing with this truck?
Might do a little body work and paint it, but otherwise keep it stock engine and interior.
What does stock engine mean?
The engine originally came with from the factory, a flathead V8.
What first got you interested in cars?
When I was younger, I just picked up on it and kept tinkering with them, and it's turned into a hobby.
What's your all-time favorite vehicle?
Probably International Scout.
We're going to check that one out in a little bit. Thanks a lot, Dad.
What's special about this truck?
It's a 1950 Chevy half-ton pickup. I've modified. I put on a four-wheel drive frame and a V8 engine in it.
Where did you pick this truck up from?
My dad gave me this truck when I was 13. He's had it since probably 1978. And my first truck ever.
This one's pretty special to you then.
Oh yeah, we didn't paint it up until about a year ago. Before that, it was just a work truck.
It looks really nice.
Thank you.
This is Dan McBurton reporting from KGFW with Nick. Nick, what kind of truck are we looking at right now?
1973 International Scout.
This one looks like you put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, I spent 2 years on this one.
That's a lot. Did you put this together from the ground up?
Yeah, I took every bolt apart and put it all back together.
You have a lot of patience, don't you?
Yeah, I kind of need it.
When do you like cruising with this truck?
Oh, nice days, sunny, warm summer days. My wife usually takes it out, though.
So like one of these days?
Yes. These days would be perfect.
What's this thing on the front?
That's an original winch for pulling trees out, getting out of mud.
Have you ever had to use it?
Nope, never had to.
Do you plan on using it?
Not in Minnesota.
Do they make Scouts anymore?
1980 was the last year.
So this is definitely a collector's item?
Yeah, I think so.
Think you could fire it up for us?
I think I could, yeah.
Awesome. What kind of thing is your Ford truck sitting on?
Oh, that's a hoist. That's for raising it up in the air to work underneath of it.
Think you could do that for us?
I think so.
What kind of things do you do when the truck is up like this?
You can change oil, put new mufflers on, rotate tires, stuff like that that you can't do above it.
I've never looked underneath a truck before.
We'll go take a look.
Hey Nick, there's wood under here.
That's the inside of the bed. That's what they did in the old trucks. They put wood floors in them.
When you work on these trucks, how do you get all the rust off?
We take them apart and sandblast them and paint them.
That sounds like fun.
It can be sometimes. Sometimes it can be real dirty, messy.
What's that?
That's a differential. That transfers the torque from the engine to the wheels.
Right. This is something that I'll be talking about in school tomorrow.
Hey, Dad, think we could go for a quick spin?
Oh, I think we can, yeah.
Hey, Dad, could you tell us about this trophy?
Yeah, we won it last year at Farm City Fun Fest.
What's this trophy for?
That's the alumni choice for best of show.
All right, we're gonna take this thing out for a spin. You guys ready to go? Yeah! Come on, Dad, we're waiting for you.
Hi, I'm Alexa Jensen, interviewing for KGFW, and this is my dad. We're going to be talking about my dog, Minnie, the three-legged dog and one broken arm. Leg, whatever. We were letting her off the leash by the football field, and then she saw another dog across the street. She started running over across the street, and a car didn't see her, and she got ran over. She's a pretty strong dog because she's already up and at him. What kinds of things did we have to do to get her better?
We took her to the vet where she stayed for 2 nights. They had to remove her rear left leg. Oh, yeah. And front leg we had to put in a splint and watch for infection, basically. So ever since then, she's been running around on her 2 left feet.
How long did it take for you to think that she's up and at 'em again?
The next day after the surgery, she moved around a little bit. And the day after that, we went to your grandpa's house, and she probably ran about 2 miles on her 2 left feet 2 days after.
That's pretty inspiring. So, Dad, do you think Minnie listens more than before when she got into the accident?
She listens really well now. Anytime you say no, she stops. So she doesn't run out in the street anymore.
Do you think Minnie could play one play of catch with us?
She would love to.
Minnie, go catch it. I guess she doesn't want to today. I'm Alexa Jensen, and I'm thanking you for letting me introduce my dog Minnie and my dad.
And I'm her brother.